Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Contest of Speed Tier 2. We're back for Season 6. And it's like we've never been away. Joining me, as always, my partner in crime, it's Matt, back in the commentary booth. We should be back to usual... Well, what... I'm back on streaming. Fingers crossed. If those of you who are watching, if you can hear Matt when he's speaking, just we've tested out the audio earlier on in the day and it was all good. So we just want to make sure that we've not done anything horrendously bad.
Don't know, but we've had our first spinner, Rooney.
Charlie there coming out the pits, cold hard tyres.
Good to be back though, mate. Good to be back, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
It's like the first day at school again. Everyone's excited.
They are. We're back. We've got some old faces returning, some new faces, some familiar faces making some moves around the Contest of Speed paddock, if you like, up and down tiers and etc. But we should all be good. We'll go through those teams in just a moment. And we'll see what we can do then. Charlie, I think the first man to set a lap in anger, or is it one of the McLarens? It might be the Wizard, actually. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Is the audio not working?
No, it's Robin.
Ah, fair play.
Yeah, that's a shame.
So, you guys in the stream now, can you hear Matt talking? Is that still...
If not, you're about to see the quickest pit stop of a
PlayStation ever. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So let's have a look then. There have been plenty of followers on the stream while we've been off air. Yes, we can hear you.
Oh my word.
Is he loud enough, everybody? Does he need to make himself...
Lord, it's a miracle!
Does he need to turn himself into Brian Blessed?
No, I'm not going to. Oh, no,
it's quite... No. Okay.
No, right. This is going to be the quickest pit stop in history. Shan't be long.
Watch this. Well, you see now, Robert says you're loud enough, you're just far away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We'll roll with it.
We'll see how we go.
We'll change it next week. It's fine.
Yeah.
We've got plan B.
Alright then, so...
Charlie's off again! Charlie, the white things, man! In between those. You'll be fine.
Not liking those hard tyres at the moment.
I wouldn't either, to be fair.
Thomas in the chat, last night's commentator, he'll be driving tomorrow. Last season's Tier 2 champion, saying he's low-key supporting Team Davey. Which is a nice little segue. That is the guys in the Williams, currently 6th and Team Davey. Which is Dan Robbo 2000, returning from last season. P5 or P6 in the Drivers' Championship last season?
He is the Drivers' Championship from last season. Yes, he is the champion. And runner-up in the Constructors with Mazda, the Mercedes. They were in
Are you going for KV now? Yeah, I was starting with Dan, but we'll go with KV then.
I thought we were going to go with KV, alphabetical, mate. Come on.
Alright. We'll go with KV. Yeah, the other Williams. Number 63. So, Tier 3 Drivers' Champion. And like Matt said, runners up in the Constructors' Championship last season. Having made the step up now, we'll be hoping for a solid season. And his teammate, returning from last season.
I'm not allowed to talk about him.
Are you not? Has he banned you?
No, he's not banned me, but it usually doesn't end particularly very well, so, you know.
No, that's true.
I've got some news actually from Team Davey.
Go on.
KV's hoping for a race win at some point. Top 5 finish in the constructors, in the drivers' championship. Obviously wants to beat Tichy because those two have driven with each other for so long.
Yeah.
Dan's is don't come last, and both of them have gone with the constructors' objective of beating Team Stumpchi.
Team Stumpchi. Well, with that in mind, let's move on to them, shall we? The two Alfa Romeos. Tichy's just gone back into the garage, so we'll start with Stumpy. Runner-up in the Tier 3 Drivers' Championship, 2 kV. And him and Tichy both getting promoted. As Tichy managed to get himself third in that championship. They won the Constructors. And have been moved up accordingly. Currently 4th and 5th, so ahead of Team Davey. But we don't know fuel levels, engine maps, anything at this point. So I'm not sure how these two will do. I think KV will do alright, having come up. Tichy and Stumpy, jury's still out. I've not seen a lot of running from either of them.
I believe Tichy used the phrase earlier to me, he's like, don't finish last, a point a race, and make sure we don't pick up the wooden spoon. And funny enough, their rivalry is, you can probably guess it.
Is it Team Davey?
Yes, it is.
Ah! So, Stumpy pits in there. We'll jump across to his teammate Tichy, just coming out on a fresh set of hard tyres. Just having a look through the activity feed on Twitch. We've had a number of follows whilst we've been off air, so Andreas Holm, thank you very much for following. Youngo123, NSX Montana, and since we started streaming, Falk CS, Falk, I'm assuming on your other account, but thank you very much for that. I'm going to go with Camp Jaden. Not sure if that's right or not. Starry21, thank you all very much for following. We hope you enjoy yourselves while you're here.
I'll tell you what, I'm noticing a strong Danish contingency.
Yes, there is. We'll move on to the third team.
Team Denmark.
Team Denmark. I don't know what they want to call themselves, if anything. Faxland then is the first of those. Both drivers returning, same team composition, same car choice in the Haas. Of course, with their compatriot Kevin Magnussen driving for the team, it's no surprise. Faxland and Dracer, both of them formidable races on their day. Struggled last season, I think it's fair to say. I don't think either of them would go against that.
I spoke to Dracer earlier on. He sent me a cheeky little DM of what his objective is this season. He has gone with, funny enough, right, for the older viewers in contest speed, you know he's looking for a top 5, so Mr. P5 is returning for
Excellent.
a third season.
Excellent.
And yeah, he said last season wasn't his best season, but he's hoping that his qualifying pace, which wasn't the greatest, but he's hoping his race pace and his consistency will get him throughout the season, so that's going to probably help him out. I would like to call him the silent assassin.
He is, yes, and if any wet weather appears, with Donamo now moving on to Tier 1, who was this tier's wet weather maestro, Dracer will take that mantle up. So keep an eye out for that, unless we have one of the new boys coming out of the woodwork to prove me wrong. Next up then, shall we go for... Let's go for last season's Constructors' Champion, shall we? Mercedes.
Yes. And none of them are there.
We've got one in.
Not in that drive anymore.
No, neither of them are. Racer has moved on. We'll be coming on to him a little bit later. And Thomas has been promoted, of course. So, right now, the Mercedes, as we've just seen there, the update we were all waiting for, that's why we were late starting the stream. No worry, Andreas, we know you're coming back. Was to give us the black Mercedes livery, which I have to say I prefer to the silver.
I do, but I don't know if I prefer it in the game or actually out on track in real life.
See, I prefer it in real life to the silver, just because it looks a lot more menacing, doesn't it?
It's like a shark, isn't it? Probably hunting you down.
And that red, little red flares on it because of the Ineos sponsorship. No, I prefer it with black.
It's not often that you're very complimentary of a Mercedes, but we'll move on before you change your mind.
Yes, so Jamie 1S moving to Mercedes from Alfa Romeo from last season. He will be partnered by Thomas, the one remaining Thomas in this tier, so we no longer have to call them Ferrari and Mercedes Thomas.
Danny, hang on, I'm sorry, we have had our first retirement. That's
Who
right,
is?
a retirement.
Is it Tichy?
And he's lost it quite far down into turn 6 or 7? I think it's 7.
I know what he's done. I know what he's done. We'll jump on board with Charlie, who's just coming up to there now, I think. Yeah, the curb on the outside there that he's managed to hit is almost certain. He'll have hit the curb, lost the back end and just spun across into the wall. Nothing he could do. Complete passenger. And well, that's the end of his practice session. He's got a long 17 minutes now.
So quickly before we let's try again. Quickly before we move on, what do we expect from these two then, Jamie and Thomas?
Thomas in the Mercedes. If Jamie's found his form again, which on the face of it he looks like he has, he's doing some competitive times out there, and he seems like he's doing a relatively long run on those soft tyres. So if Jamie's found his form and Thomas has continued to improve at the rate we saw last season, I would probably put them in the fold for the Constructors' Championship. Jamie maybe for the Drivers' title, and Thomas as well, but Thomas would need to sort out his consistency and the penalty situation. In fact, both of them have got penalties.
The last season actually was better. It's probably the best
yeah, started to get that under control. So yeah, he can't be here tonight because it's alright for some, but he's busy sunning himself abroad. I've seen videos and photos on his Instagram feed of him and his girlfriend out on the jet skis on some exotic beach somewhere, so yeah, it's very nice for him. He'll be back next week and raring to go.
On to Ferrari, shall we?
Yes.
Emily, Mark and Charlie.
Yes, two consistent performers. Charlie, of course, at the back end of last season had a couple of very good results. I would expect them to continue, assuming, points is probably what we can guarantee with these two. Mark going for a very similar helmet design to my own normally, actually.
Taking inspiration from you, mate, that's what it is.
Well, see, I'm rocking the Schumacher helmet this year.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about these two, because we know Mark's quick and was unlucky last season not to get himself a victory on a couple of occasions, and Charlie we saw the best of towards the end of the season. I'm not sure how they're going to do against the rest of the field. I think it will very much depend. Yeah, they could end up being right up there, or they could end up being a solid midfield pair. But either way, I think they will score a lot of points, and I think that we should have some good action from them, especially Mark. He's not afraid of wheel-to-wheel action. Next up then, we've got two new followers. That's Rissa43 and Neymar Meg 11. Thank you very much for following. We hope you enjoy yourselves. Blades, that's a gifted sub, please, in the chat. It's unacceptable.
He's put an asterisk in. He's fine.
He hasn't. Thomas has.
Oh no, for me he has.
Yep, for me. You must be on. Are you on? You're on safe mode where it mutes all the naughty words?
Yeah, probably.
Alright then, next team up. Who shall we go for?
Red Bull. That's the
Red
next team on my
Bull.
order. I've got it in front of me.
Yes, Red Bull. The lead driver, I would be fair to assume, is going to be Arbar.
Yes.
Yes.
And I would say one that could possibly push for the Drivers' Championship.
I would say he is the firm favourite after last season. Finished 4th in the Drivers' Championship. With Williams last year, makes the move across to the other side of Silverstone, to Milton Keynes from Grove. Runs a little bit wide there on the exit of turn 9. But that's it, this is only a practice session, it doesn't really matter. And he's got the glitch with the reps, so we'll move on from him. Is his teammate out on track?
No, Fulton is in the pits.
Yes, which isn't great, unfortunately for him.
Lowering the points, I reckon, for Fulton. Possibly. I think this year is so close you can't. That's why we're saying points for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's probably going to change every week.
If Fallen has some good results, he'll get points every week. If he has a couple of shockers, then he could be right down the bottom. Once you get past the front, maybe 3, which I think is going to be Arbar, Jamie, and probably
So I would like
Unseen.
Yeah, but I don't want to put him under pressure as well, but I'd probably put KV up there possibly as well, from what I've seen in practice.
Yeah, for consistency's sake, yeah, I think you're right. I think he could be.
And obviously people like Jonathan Cox as well.
Mm,
We've not mentioned yet.
we haven't. Let's. So,
2 new guys.
2 new guys forming a team together, which is Jonathan Cox and Hijacked, both of whom are in the pits at the moment, in the Renaults, and both come out together. It's as if we planned it, it's as if we queued them or something.
They heard, they obviously listened to the call.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Rage Snipes, thank you for following. Yes.
Tier 3 drivers.
Yes, put on a very good show last night. Managed to get himself a win, I think, didn't he?
Yes, he did. But anyway, Jonathan Cox and Hijacked. So from what I've seen, Hijacked has good 1 lap pace from his time trial times, but it's going to be, obviously it's replicating that into a proper scenario, whether he's going to be in the front or not.
Jonathan Cox, if we're going off what happened last year, with the few races that he subbed in for at the end, once Rosa had to stop racing to defend us all. He'll be a solid upper midfield runner. He'll be points finishes every week, I think, is what they would be expecting. Hijacked, I know nothing about. So
I think good 1 lap pace, and yeah, don't know about his race pace. I've not done anything race with him, seen anything from him. So.
No, I'm not so sure. We'll have to keep an eye on him. It'll be interesting, will that one? Very interesting.
Next team.
Racing Point, the Pink Panthers, one of whom is unfortunately unable to join us this evening. So we only have the one, which is a racer, or Lewis. Normally be able to hear his dulcet tones on a Monday night, commentating Tier 3, along with Thomas. Former teammates, of course, those two last season, but ruthlessly torn apart.
Champion.
Yes, Constructors Champions.
Whichever way you want to put it, he's a Constructors Champion.
He is. So, what do we think then? Wisey Boy, he's always been, and it's, I use the phrase loathingly, but he's always been the bridesmaid, never the bride in a team.
He's been a very good teammate.
He has. He was first team.
Teammate. He's a very good teammate.
It's Wisey Boy, but he will be the quicker of these two, I feel.
Yeah. Although Lewis has shown flashes of brilliance and his ability to be quick, but I think Lewis just needs to be consistent. I think if he's consistent, then he's going to do well, and that's like in terms of his race pace. just needs to cut out a couple of mistakes. I think he was unlucky in certain stages last year.
Yes.
Caught up in other instances that wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's the way it is. So I think as long as he's consistent, he'll be alright, and he's got a good teammate there in Wisey Boy. So I think these guys will probably be looking at possibly 4th, maybe 5th in the constructors, maybe higher. But
maybe I would.
I think they'll do well. I think they'll be okay.
If you're looking for an outside, back end stepped out there, well held. But if you're looking for an outside bet of a drivers' champion, and I mean a real outside bet, I would say Wisey Boy isn't the worst option. His pace matches what it was towards the end of last year, and he hits the ground running, and he's not playing second fiddle. I think, and his attendance is the one thing with Wisey Boy, 'cause he's a busy man. Can't make every week. It's the same, he can't be here tonight. So that might be the one thing that holds him back.
Okay, 2 teams to go, Danny.
Yes.
Go to McLaren first.
No, we'll go to them last, I think.
Lovely. Let's go to AlphaTauri then.
AlphaTauri, whatever we want to call it. So we've only got one of them in the lobby tonight. Robin, unfortunately, was unable to select his car before the session started.
Still not able to do so.
Yeah, which is slightly irritating. But if he's in the lobby, he might be able to get into one in time for the race. It won't be the AlphaTauri, but he'll be in the Mercedes. But of course, all these cars are equal performance, so it matters not. So it's Real R Life and Tennis Freak in the AlphaTauris. Again, relatively speaking, an unknown quantity.
I think Tennis Freak will pick up a couple of podiums this season. If we're basing it off what we saw from the back end of that half season that we saw last year, a couple of months ago. I think he'd be up there. Robin, obviously, these days, Thomas has talked to me before and hasn't got the time to practice as much, but we know the ability of the guy. This is the guy that was pushing for the Drivers' Championship 2 seasons ago.
Yeah. With
3 and 4.
drivers who are now set as tier 1s.
Tier 1s, the likes of the Jacobs, Varamir,
Matrix.
Yeah. So I'm sure with a little bit of practice he'll be back up close to the mid to high points region. So yeah, I think they'll be alright. It's really difficult to rank these guys actually, because I think it's for those that didn't watch last year, heads and shoulders above like the rest.
The only one who could get near them was Arbar, and from what we've seen, Jamie, NSX Unseen, and maybe 1 or 2 others, could get close. But
so that midfield group is now actually basically the majority of tier 2. So
yeah, it could be very interesting. I would say that AlphaTauri could be your best of the rest team. In the traditional sense, like maybe your 4th place. In the constructors, drivers wise, I don't know. If Robin finds some form, he'll win the Drivers' Championship, I think. That's if he finds some form. Tennis Freak, I don't know.
it's not often that we're struggling to try and work these.
No, Tennis Freak's a weird one, because I've seen him perform brilliantly, like Monza last season.
I would say Hungary as well.
Hungary, as well, was absolutely immense.
Sorry, who was that that's just dropped it? I think
that's
it
a J, mate. Exit a turn 9,
I was like, oh, that's a dark coloured car, and I thought, oh, it's going to be the Haas, and no, I forgot it's the Mercedes, because livery change.
Yep, Mercedes dropped it, that's J, mate. So that's that set of tyres cooked, flat spotted, and whatever else you want to say.
So quality sims for 3 minutes.
Yep. So let's quickly then get through the last team while they're all doing their qualifying sims. So we've got the 2-spell Wizard, just been wheeled back into the garage, and his teammate NSX Unseen in there already. Two Spell we know as... Yes, very much so. Well, in Wizard's case, I would say that NSX Unseen is not a dark horse under any stretch of the imagination. I would say he is the man who is most likely to be the one to depose Arbar of the favourites crown for the Drivers' Championship. I would say McLaren are one of the favourites for the Constructors, given Unseen's overall pace and Wizard's ability to not get penalties. There is a reason we have an award in COS called the Wizard Award.
And the Golden Wizard Award.
And the Golden Wizard Award. I will be very surprised if we get anyone with a Golden Wizard Award. Yeah. So, you know, he's heading out on track.
No warnings in a race for those of you that have joined us and don't know what the Wizard Award is all about.
Yeah, so to be fair, the only reason we came up with the Golden Wizard Awards because quite a few people started getting Wizard Awards once they realised that there was such a thing. So we've now had to quantify the quality of the Wizard Award.
Everyone's starting to do their sim runs. Dan's just gone up from wherever he was, 15th into 7th. Wow, that is tight. Look at that. Third down to 7th. There you go. That's what we're talking about. Half a tenth.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, you can spread the top 15 by 2 seconds, which on the face of it is actually quite large, but then when you take it back up to the top 10, it's just over a second.
And that's probably going to get closer.
Yeah.
In some races. It just will.
So we'll ride on board then with the Wizard as he goes around to go for a qualifying run. We'll see him crank up ERS to mode 2. That is hot lap now for everybody who's unfamiliar with the ERS changes this year. Mode 0 is none, mode 1 is medium, mode 2 is hot lap, and mode 3 is overtake.
Just a quick one this evening, they've just had a 30-minute practice. It's going to be one-shot qualifying, which I watched back the stream last night, and that was absolute carnage.
Is it going to be really good to watch?
Thomas and Tichy were beside themselves. Thomas couldn't hold his excitement and he was going crazy. And then it's a 25% race, so completely different format to what we're going to be used to next week, which I'm sure we'll cover.
Yes. So next week we will be back to our traditional format of short qualifying, followed by a 50% race with all variables accounted for. Tonight's just a bit of a catch-up, so we can see what everyone's pace is like. Everyone can get used to being back out on track again in race conditions.
Looking at new drivers with their new teammates. And
I can see who's really good at keeping their footage saved and everything. I've said that to them actually. I said to all the guys before we started, make sure you're recording because I'm going to ask 5 of them for a random piece of footage. It could be any part of this whole evening's events.
It's very nice of you to do that. Anyway, Wizard comes to the line and only 26.7.
Doesn't improve.
Through sector 2 actually.
Yeah, lost it all in the final sector, I think. So who's going to be next up? We've got a Red Bull approaching. That's Arbar. Powers for the line.
By 10th and a half.
Jumps ahead of the Wizard.
Just starting to... Well, we would presume they're on quali runs with quali fuel, but I don't think some of them are.
We never know. Andreas has lost it. Final corner. We'll ride on board with Mark. We'll be there in a moment.
A second and a bit, and Jamie's driving to the line. And that's a 26.2, so puts him near the front.
It does put him near the front. Mark at the moment holding firm. Side, Mark Powers for the line. improves, he puts himself ahead. There's one man I think could beat him who's coming around the final corner now.
Yes, he is indeed.
Is he going to be fast enough? I'm not so sure. I don't think he is. Oh,
very tight.
1/100th of a second in it. If we have a title fight between these two and it's that close all season, this is going to be incredible. Is Arbar still going? He could get a lap in yet. Wizards could get another run at it.
Coming round, but he's run out of ERS already. And he's pulling.
He's going to try and get a little bit of slipstream. Doesn't improve. Arbar, I think, will be the last man. But he's coming in. He's coming in. He's bailed out. So he's gone into the pit. So there we have it then. Mark and unseen. We said the Ferraris could go either way.
So what's got changed though? Dan has nabbed P11.
Yeah, his favourite position. So let's have a look then at that final result. Is there anyone there who we think is massively out of place?
I would probably say Andreas.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, he could probably get himself into the 26s.
Other than that, that is pretty much how I kind of expected.
Yeah, Tichy we don't know, of course. Yeah.
Stumpy's up into 6th.
He is, KV as well. Tichy, I suppose, is the unknown variable because he's.
But as we said though earlier, that's got just over 6/10 between 1st and 11th.
Yeah. And it's. Yeah, I mean, it's a second down to P14. Well, 1.2 seconds to P14. That's not a very big gap at all. But yeah, the top 10, like you said, covered by 6/10. Positions 3 to 10 covered by 4/10. This tier is renowned for being close and having the best racing because of it, but this is the closest I think we've had it ever. So Mark then in the Ferrari takes the crown for having the fastest time in the first and only practice session of the year before season 6 gets underway. Yes, to the Irishman. NSX Unseen comes across in second place, only 1/100th of a second behind him. Then we've got a bit of a gap, 2/10 back to Jamie 1S in the Mercedes. Jonathan Cox in 4th, Arbar in 5th. Stumpy and KV, two promoted drivers, putting on no end of a good show for themselves there in 6th and 7th. Tennis Freak in 8th. The Mighty Wizard in P9, and Hijacked, the other new guy, into P10.
Dan 11th, Lewis 12th, Faxon 13th, Dracer 14th, Charlie 15th. Just going to test me now. Trying to wing that, to be fair. Couldn't remember the last two.
You did alright, mate. You did alright. So, if any of the guys are watching, there's no need to wait for the normal 1 minute timer before we hit X. We can get cracking. Should all have their setups on already. They should all be raring to go and ready.
One shot qualifying. Oh yeah, I'm excited.
This is going to be good fun. We're about to see what can only be described as a trippy amount of movement.
I was going to say, the time screen on your left hand side of your screens is going to get a bit hectic, flustered. Here we go.
Jump. Going to be quite difficult, so we're going to ride on board with the Wizard. Off the tyre. And we'll have a look at the timing screens. Real life managed to get himself into his Alpha Tauri there before the end of the session. Jamie must have spun at turn 1 and has ended up going in the wrong way. Interesting. Robin leads the way. Dan Robbo in second place. He now takes the lead. Mark in third. KV is up there as well. Stumpy's, I would agree. We can't change across to have a look and find out. Dan Robbo still leads.
Stumpy's okay, still pointing in the right direction. They're all changing once again.
And here comes NSX on scene though, now puts himself up towards the front of the grid. The Wizard's sneaking in as well into P6. Dan Roberts still leads the way from Mark unseen. Jonathan Cox now. As we head around into they are 3rd and 5th at the moment for the McLaren boys. As we come towards the end of Sector 2, the Wizard is fastest through Sector 2, gets himself into 2nd place. Dan Roberts still leads the way down the penultimate straight.
Jonathan Cox, they're swapping.
Officially 2 corners to go, but we count it as 1 through the final turn. Dan Robbo still leads to drive for the line. Cavey made a push towards the end. Wizard holds 3rd. Jonathan Cox in 2nd. And that's as it was. Dan takes it. Fastest in practice. Mark down in P5. Team Davey P1 and P4. Great showing for the Williams. That was brilliant, wasn't it? I love it.
So unpredictable. It shows what people have to do when they get put under 1 lap of pressure.
Oh, isn't it amazing? Couple. So Dan Robbo takes pole position then, nearly 1/10 clear of Jonathan Cox in 2nd place. The Wizard 4,000 back from that. KV another 10th or 2 away. Mark in 5th, not sure he'll be too happy with that after his qualifying performance. NSX Unseen in P6, he definitely won't be happy with that. Arbar in P7, those 3 I think will be your championship contenders. They'll be starting next to each other. Stumpy in 8th, Hijacked 9th and Fallen in P10. Real Life after that, solid start to the lap, drops to P11. Charlie in 12th, Titchy 13th, the last of the qualified runners. Jamie, Dracer, Racer, Tennis Freak and Faxland were DNFs for their qualifying runs.
Can I just point out though, Danny, 7 tenths between the top 13.
This is going to be brilliant. Jack Dylan Nolan, thank you for following, and Toby Now 1, thank you for following. We hope you enjoy the stream and the season to come.
Montana, yeah, get used to it. This is what Tier 2's been like for the last season and a half.
Yes, indeed.
These are the midfield guys that have come up.
It is. Let's see if anyone's going to go for the reverse strategy. Of course, the top 10 have to start on the qualifying tyre, which for everybody was the soft tyre. So everyone from P11 downwards can choose either the mediums or the hards if they so choose.
Oh, it's not raining though, Danny.
Oh, well, if I'd known we wanted rain, I would have set it. Blazes in the chat, he says Unseen, Jonathan and Arbar for his top 3. We do have a formation lap as well, as they are actually important this year. They do actually matter. So then Dan leads the field away. Jonathan Cox behind him. Let's have a look at the tyres then. So top 10 of course on the softs, and then we've got Real Life and Charlie also on softs. Titchy and Jamie on mediums, and then Dracer, Racer, Tennis Freak and Faxland on the softs. So only 2 medium runners going for the reverse.
I'm going to say now Dan's first pole, even though it's an unofficial type race, since he's at Tier 3
promotion days. Yeah. I'm not sure who I want to put money on for this.
I'm going to go with Jonathan Cox.
You saying Jonathan Cox for the win? We've got the predicted pit stop strategy coming up on screen there.
And then I'm going to go for a double points finish for Williams and a double points finish for Renault. There you go.
Do you know what? I'm going to go for a double podium for McLaren.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know what order that'll be in, but that's what I'm going for. And I don't know who will join them there. But we'll soon find out.
Yeah, we've got to look out for, as you said, Titch and Jamie on the mediums, so those guys will be going longer.
Yeah, and they will be lightning quick towards the end.
Jamie been out of position from where we saw in practice, so
so we could see him make a charge through the field. So we move to the grid then. The driver's getting ready to go racing for Season 6 of Contest of Speed. Lars is in the chat. He says Robin Tennis Freak Tichy.
Adventurous, I like it.
Very much so. We hope you're right. Alright, Lars. We go then. Season 6 starts here. 5 lights. We get the glitch tonight, which we didn't yesterday. And away we go for Season 6 of Tier 2. It's a good start from one of the alphas back there. I think that's Tichy.
Jonathan Cox is going to get the run down the inside. He looks like he's going to be first into the corner. Oh,
he
we've
is
got
indeed.
a little bit of damage and confetti at the back.
And we have, but Dan, he has. He's managed to hold it through the inside of Turn 2. It's now a drag race down towards Turn 4. Jonathan Cox is there, and Wizard as well, challenging with side by side. Get out of the way. Predicted pit stop strategy. We're not interested. We know what it is. It's only a short race. Dracer must have run wide and gained a position, and he's got himself penalised for it. Tennis Freak with the first time penalty for corner cutting of the evening. Dan's held position though. It's as you were at the front between Dan Robbo, Jonathan Cox and Wizard. Cavey as well in P4 has held where he is.
Rachel and Faxon both made up 7 and 8 places respectively at the side. Made that 9. Lewis is up another one. 7th already. Oh no, he's dead tonight.
Good job from Lewis. Battling with the Ferrari of Charlie in front. Big winners, as you said, Faxland.
Oh no, Lewis go for the move around the outside of the blank curve. That was adventurous.
It is, but it's going to compromise Charlie's exit here. Lewis back end stepped out there, and that's going to compromise him.
Faxon's got a great run on these two.
Yeah, and he's using that overtake button brilliantly. We just saw him cruise past Lewis, who is out of battery deployment for this lap. Charlie's fighting back. Elbows are out. And we've got NSX.
Unseen in front wing damage, Danny. Sorry.
Man. For wing, is it a wing change?
It is a wing change. I think there's some damage on Fallen as well.
We've got a wing change and the medium tyres going on the McLaren. We've got Dracer in as well for a wing change and what appear to be, mediums.
It's 5 second stop go as well. That's why he's taking so long. So he's going to go mediums. Jamie's gone hards, as you said. And it's in mediums.
Right then, Faxland up 10 places. Racer up 7. Charlie's holding off these two.
Charlie's actually gone up ahead of them again.
He has, yeah.
Oh, Charlie's got front wing damage though, Danny. That's why he's holding these two up actually. Left hand side.
To Hijacked, who is will jump across his teammate Mark. The leading 5, it's as you were. And Dan is starting to pull away.
Actually, he's doing quite well because he's got the same ERS percentage as Jonathan Cox, who's actually burned a little bit more because he's under pressure from Wizard behind.
He is.
Closing and closing.
Dan managing to pull away. He's just outside the second now as we enter lap 3. So DRS will be enabled as we come down the short back straight.
Looks like it's going to be R-Bar that's come in.
Wizard goes deep.
Damage, and Charlie's in as well.
Yep, that releases Faxland and Lewis. We'll keep an eye on those guys and sees where it goes. Separate detection point now. Wizard has DRS on Jonathan Cox, who does not have it on Dan in the lead.
R-Bar has gone with the mediums, and Stumpy's with a front wing change as well has also gone to the medium tyre.
Yeah, Jamie as well, when his stop went to the hard compound. Those guys will definitely go to the end, but they will be slower initially. The mediums, I would suspect, will go to the end.
Jonathan Cox was down to 18% there of ERS. Wizard is closing behind.
Yeah, with slightly more. He is. Dan pulling away. Mark closing in on these two as well. Lewis, crucially, keeping himself in DRS range of Faxland, who is pushing hard to pull away and try and catch Hijacked. Jonathan Cox is acting as a little bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment for those guys behind, so Dan needs to push now, get himself well clear.
It'd be interesting to see if Faxon can actually catch the back of these, the top 6 that have pulled away.
We've got Tichy fighting for the final point scoring position. He's got himself in an Alpha Tauri sandwich. Pushing hard now to try and catch Tennis Freak. We've got Fallen pulling off into the pits.
That's because he's had earlier damage.
We could see a move from Tichy into turn 4 on Tennis Freak here.
Towers is coming, Robin's coming as well.
I wonder if that's an early attempt at an undercut on Tichy. What he doesn't realise, of course.
He's been held in the pit.
Oh!
Pit stop by Fallen. And that's going to cost him. So NSX Unseen has got himself a nice little undercut actually.
Yeah, and he's NSX Unseen is now looking good. He's a fair way back from Tichy, but he is within the pit stop window. So NSX Unseen is now the leading driver who has made a pit stop and the leading medium runner.
Stumpy's got himself in front, but Robin is looking to fight back. These three getting quite close for 15th, 16th and 17th posiciones, and actually they're not really far away from Charlie. 12.
No, not miles away. Not by a long shot. Oh, Robin's gone! He's managed to hold it out of the wall, but those hard tyres not quite up to temperature yet. Lost himself a place to Jamie. Needs to be careful now, those tyres will be warm.
Switch for the position. Mark and Wizard are both in.
Yeah, they'll be doing that to try and undercut Jonathan Cox, who we will ride on board with and see this time around. There's also Kavy to think about. He might go for a move here.
Yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. There's someone in the wall. It's Fallen. Don't roar.
Yeah, that's blank curve. Blank curve claims itself another victim. That's the first of the year.
I think Dan's trying to get the hammer down here against Jonathan Cox.
Yeah, the gap's holding at around 1.3. If I don't know what I'd do here if I'm Team Davey, because really they both want to stop now.
Yeah, we've got the same problem low down at Renault as well. Hijack and Jonathan are at 2nd and 4th.
Yeah, I think for the benefit of the team you'd want Jonathan Cox to finish ahead, so you'd box him first to try and counteract Wizard and Mark, and I'd pit down because he's starting to lose time. And KV will have DRS for the next time around.
He's burning his overtake. I think that's
indicative of a pit stop.
KV's got more ERS to burn as well to attack Jonathan Cox if need be.
Yeah, Jonathan Cox is coming in, so KV will take the de facto lead. Let's jump now across to the two-spell Wizard. Is he going to be close enough?
Well, yeah, it's going to be also Tichy's going to be out in front as well, so he should get in front of these. He's closing on the back of Tennis Freak. We're seeing that overlap between the soft and the medium tyres at this point.
Here comes the Wizard. I think they're both going to get out ahead of him, you know. It's going to be very close.
Yeah, Wizard's burning his ERS.
Dan's out ahead. Here comes the Wizard, and Jonathan Cox just holds it, but can he keep it there? Because the Wizard will have DRS.
And Mark has got himself, well I say got himself out in front of Faxton. He's not, they're side by side. Faxton's still holding it in there and gets a better drive out the corner.
Who's got the DRS? Is it Faxland? It is.
Neither. Oh yeah. Neither actually, it's not come up.
Faxon got it, I think. I saw the wing open, but unable to take advantage. So then now switches back. We've got Tichy within striking distance of Tennis Freak.
Yellow flag, sector 1. I think Stumpy went round, but he's all good, facing the right direction. Go again.
KV, I would say, will be stopping this time around, as will Hijacked. And indeed, KV's in.
I'm just going to take this break to say 50 viewers. Thanks for everyone that's joined us. This is the short, sharp version of Contest of Speed.
It is indeed. This is pre-season. Next week we start for real. Tennis Freak is in, so that releases Tichy. He will take the lead.
Dan's got a couple of attempts on Jonathan Cox, and to be honest, that's helping because Wizard's going to put pressure on him. So So wait and see.
According to the strategy guide, Tichy's pit stop window is now open, so we'll see what happens there. When he stops, Dan will retake the lead. Jonathan Cox under heavy pressure from Cavey, who's battling with the Wizard, who's round! He's in the wall, there's wing damage on the McLaren.
I think Cavey got such a run out the last corner on those two, and they were both defending from each other and wanted to take advantage. So, Tess Freak has got past the Wizard as well.
That's the Wizard's race. Not ruined, but... well, yeah, ruined.
Yeah, ruined. We've got it's only 25%,
yeah.
so... we
could be on for a double Williams podium finish at this rate. If KV can catch up and overtake Jonathan Cox. It's me saying it, not you. So it's currently... pit stops not accounted for. Alfa Romeo, Williams, Renault, Ferrari. That's your top 6.
Oh, I think we have an issue down at the racing point.
Do we?
I think Lewis is stuck in overtake.
I think you're right. Or has he just forgotten that he has to turn it off?
I think he's stuck in overtake. I've just looked at the comments in Thomas, because I know Thomas is in a pie with Lewis, Dan, KV and Team Stumpy. So.
Speaking of, Tichy now into the pits. And scrubbed softs going on that car.
Don't think it is though. I think there's some kind of...
Is it a tyre glitch?
I think it could be a tyre glitch. I'd be surprised if he's on 7-hole softs. Interesting situation out front. The Williams guys are...
hang on, Matt. We've got Jamie side by side with Charlie, and then we've got Stumpy lurking as well. We're 3 wide up towards turn 4. Squeezed there. Charlie comes off worse. Jamie takes the lead position with Stumpy in behind.
As I was saying, Jonathan Cox has got a worse ERS scenario than both of the Williams around him, so Williams in the driving seat with about what would be 6 laps to go.
Yep, 6 laps when we cross the line this time around. KV within striking distance now, within that 1 second window. Let's keep an eye on Tichy as well, currently in P9 on the soft tyre, so we'll be pushing hard.
Unseen is making his way through the field quite nicely, up to 7th, now only a second behind Faxland. Don't forget he picked up that, got involved in an incident earlier on, and showing his pace actually in his tip.
He is, yes. KV right into the gearbox of Jonathan Cox's Renault. Less than half a second now between them. Meanwhile, Dan Robbo. Yeah, this could be good. This could be
13 from 14 points again. Here we go for the second round.
Yeah, Stumpy up the inside of Jamie into turn 1. Wheels banging together. Charlie retakes it now. Jamie's under pressure from Robin, who loses the back end to lose the drive.
Robin's not got DRS though, so Jamie should be okay to go again.
And Robin didn't want to use any of his battery there.
Tichy has just gone purple through sector 1 and is on the back of Lewis, so
let's jump across. I think we'll see a move here into towards turn 10. I think, yep, here we go. Tichy is ahead by
get the switchback and the better drive.
Switchback not going to work for him. That's just there. Might be able to get a move back down in towards turn 1, maybe turn 4.
Meanwhile, KV is closing. He's closing and he's closing. He's got the slipstream.
Here goes the Williams. Dives to the inside. Slight lock up there for KV, but managed to get the car slowed down. Oh, Jonathan Cox, the back end stepped out. And Jonathan Cox has a DRS failure. He had it there and the wing did not deploy.
NSX Unseen got moved on Faxon. Faxon's got the DRS back, but it's too far away, so that's NSX Unseen. Moving up.
Charlie and Jamie still hanging together. Charlie now with DRS as well as Jamie.
To the road.
Charlie's got a DRS failure as well.
It was open. I think there's some kind of. I think we're having a Cody's little glitch here.
Are we? Excellent.
Oh,
still fighting, and he's gone.
Oh, that was never going to work.
And that's an AlphaTauri in the wall. Has he kept the wing alive?
No, I think he's got some little bit of damage, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and that's him gone out of the session. It was.
Cavy's managed to drop Jonathan Cox, actually, Danny.
Yeah, he has, and he's closing in now on his teammate. Cavey pushing for the win here. But Jonathan Cox outside of DRS range, so it's currently Williams, Renault, Ferrari, McLaren.
I'll tell you what, I was watching Dracer's car there, because he's closing the back of Charlie after Charlie and James' little escapades. And that back end is looking very loosey-goosey.
You can see, Unseen at the moment, able to hold off Faxland, who's trying to come back at him. Tichy meanwhile is closing on that pair as well. We'll keep an eye on that and come back to it a little bit later on. Charlie has been dropped by Jamie, who is trying to hunt down Stumpy, but that Alfa Romeo is just too quick.
Faxon actually coming back at Unseen here.
Yeah, Wizards with the fastest lap, not entirely unexpected given its current situation. Cavey, although he's closing in on Dan, Jonathan Cox is still clinging on there just outside the second window.
Yeah, it's stabilising though, isn't it, really? Between three of them. Not really making massive inroads, maybe the odd 10th here and there, but...
Yeah, I think...
3 to go then.
Yep, 3 to go as they cross the line then. Dan Roberts still leads, with Cavey behind, Jonathan Cox in third, Hijacked in fourth.
Just looking at the next battle, it's probably going to be Dre. I think Drace is the closest, maybe Tennis Freak actually.
Tichy's within DRS of Faxon now as well, so I think there could be a battle there soon enough.
Drace is closing. He's getting closer, may go for a lunge, all thought better of it actually.
Well, he's got another DRS zone here. It's right on board then.
Oh, Charlie got out of shape there. He's closer this time, I think.
Early shift up to 8th for Dracer. He's going to go around the outside of the Ferrari. And he's made it stick. Great move from Dracer. Up into P14 for him.
Now then, I think Tichy is the next guy on the move.
Yeah, he will be. Half a second now, the gap.
Pretty sure they're not 14 lap old softs either.
Not at that pace, no.
Someone last night did 16 laps on the softs around Zandvoort.
Excellent stuff.
This is probably one of the reasons why we waited so long to get started.
Yeah, there's a couple of glitches. Nothing massive.
No.
Here goes Tichy though, to the inside.
God, look how powerful that overtake button DRS is.
At a circuit like this, very much so. Enough straight line speed.
Yeah, but you got to use it well and use it smartly.
And Faxland not close enough to come back at Tichy there. So that promotes Tichy now into 7th place, and he's going to hunt down NSX Unseen. Cavey closing in on Dan now. I don't think it'll be enough, but Jonathan Cox is still lurking.
No, Dan's just had to go past Robin. I think he got a little bit distracted by going through his ghost car. Going past the ghost car. yeah, you're right. KV has been making inroads the last couple of laps, but I think a little too late.
Mark now finally making a move on Hijacked, but is it too little too late? He's within DRS range, so we'll see what happens. Hijacked with plenty of energy. I say plenty. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I've misread that.
It's the same as the guys out in front. KV and Jonathan Cox, Hijacked and Mark are about the same. Dan's got a little bit more, but he's just used that down the main straight, and we're on the final lap, Danny.
We are. Just like that, it's almost over. We'll jump across to our race leader. Although Faxton could be coming back at Tichy here. We'll have a look up towards turn 4. Well, if I'm Tichy, I'm burning everything up here to try and keep him there. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Charlie gets back ahead of Dracer. Can Dracer come back towards turn 4? DRS open. Overtake engaged. Has a look, but there's not enough space. Not enough time to get himself alongside.
I'll tell you what, Lewis is doing really well, to be fair to him, being stuck in overtake all this time, and he's still, because he's not quite close, well, he's close enough, but he's not quite close enough. I think he's going to get past Tennis Freak anyway.
Tichy's he's got NSX Unseen. That must have been a mistake from Unseen there, because Tichy wasn't close enough. Mark, meanwhile, he's pushing hard to try and get a move on Hijack done. He is. Dan Robbo wins pre-season season 6 with KV his teammate in second place. Could that be a sign of things to come? Jonathan Cox takes third, Hijacked takes fourth, closely followed by Mark. Tichy on the reverse strategy puts in an excellent showing on tier 2 debut to come into home P6. NSX Unseen after early damage fought back well, just lost out on the final lap there to take 7th. Vaxland in 8th. Racer or Lewis in 9th after being stuck in overtake mode for the whole race.
Tennis Freak, those penalties made him miss out by less than a tenth of a second.
Yep, Stumpy in P10 after penalties. Tennis Freak 11th. Jamie 1S in 12th. Arla 13th. Charlie 14th. I missed the rest of them because the screen cuts away.
Tracer 15th. Fallen 16th. And
Wizard 17th.
And Robin 18th. Thanks to apparently his drive of the day.
Excellent stuff, yeah. Robin the one DNF for tonight. How long's it been since we saw that sight? 2 Williams and a Renault on the podium.
And to be honest, I don't think we expected to say first blow of the season goes to Team Davey.
It does indeed. Psychological advantage well and truly on their side. Confidence will be riding high next week when we head to round 1 of season 6. That will be the Spanish Grand Prix. You are all more than welcome to join us, and we hope to see you there. No interviews tonight, it's just pre-season. There's not a lot the guys can say to us really. We hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you will come back next week. We hope you're all as excited for the new season as we are. I know you are, Matt.
I'm ready, mate.
Mate, I'm loving it.
Last night and watching this tonight, I'm ready to go.
I might be petitioning to have one-shot qualifying more often because that was mega.
Don't know how many people can agree with that one, but yes, it was.
To commentate on that was great. So well done all the drivers, well done, and thank you to everybody who has helped to make season 6 a reality. We will see you all next week. Thank you all. Oh, hold on.
You're about to say goodnight, aren't you?
I was.
Don't forget.
Oh yes,
AM2.
yes. Make sure you tune in later on. You've got approximately 3 hours now to go away. Do what you like. Enjoy yourselves, have a nap, have some dinner, do whatever, and then come back. 2 AM in the UK tomorrow morning. You can 9 PM Eastern. Yep, you can tune in and make sure to enjoy the AM2 stream, which has moved now from Wednesdays to Tuesdays.
And your commentators this evening, I've been told, are Perry, Bursey, Jay and DK.
Excellent. A new commentary trio there. I'm sure they'll do just fine. We'll be handing over to them for the remainder of today's races. So, from EU2, thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week for round 1. Good night.